Is it true the Roosters aren't happy, the fact that Lindsay Collins has been given such a big ban?
No, they're not happy, and I think Brandon Smith touched on it after the game in regards to the number of tackles we have in a match that you wouldn't actually consider a hip drop until someone is hurt. And I think Gus touched on it after the game. Having that third player come in drop down around the legs, and this one here with Felice Kafusi, the Roosters were particularly disappointed about because they didn't see too much different between that and what Lindsay Collins had done to Tom Eisenhuth. So the injury was the only difference in that situation.
Other than the outcome.
Well, the injury is the difference.
And there's no doubt that they do judge things on the outcome, without a doubt. It's been the past few years they've judged things on what the outcome of the tackle is. And
is that a bad thing? Because the AFL do that as well.
I do think it's a bad thing. I do, yeah.
So it shouldn't be considered at all, or just it should be a factor, but not the whole consideration?
I don't think that shouldn't be the whole consideration, no. And I've got no doubt because he was injured, Eisenhuth, that he was suspended.
So how many times a game do you see that tackle?
Lots of times, plenty of times, and they're not picked up because the player isn't injured. I agree exactly with what the Chief said.
Was Lindsay Collins hard done by, Gus, or should Felice Kafusi be facing some...
Look, no, because I've been saying this for a decade. I don't like this third man in tackle. I said you've got to go back to the coaches and tell them to find another way because this is dangerous. It's even dangerous doing it to each other at training when they're trying to practice it. You've got your heart in your mouth at training with people getting injured. It should not be allowed in our game. I wanted to rule this out, when it started 12 years ago or what have you. But where the Roosters are coming from is that they've seemed to have been caught, but players from the Storm weren't. And there were incidents in that game that had Jared Warrior-Hargreaves done them, I'm sure he would have been facing the music, and others weren't. And that's just, they're the sum of inequalities that some of the other clubs and coaches look at. The Roosters play a tough, hard brand, and you've got to, if you're going to come to this part of the season and win all these games the way they have, walk the tightrope, get into the finals and make a stand, and they're quite capable of doing it. This is their football. It's brutal, it's relentless, it's in your face, and the Melbourne Storm loved it because they gave it back in turn. The two sides loved what happened out there, but as I said, it's too hard for our rules, it's too hard for our officials, it's too hard for our media. There's too much that they can easily criticise after the game rather than just enjoying the contest. The players are out there doing what they're trained to do and what they want to do. Having said that, the third man in tackle, you need to go back to the coaches and tell them, find another way.